Ladies and gentlemen, I, 6th Battalion, the Madras Regiment, request your kind attention as I will be taking you down the memory lane to tell you my story. I was first born in the year 1777, wherein birth of a new legacy took place at Thanjavur. As I was raised as 21st Carnatic Battalion by Captain Thomas Baggett. Over the course of the years, up till Mother India earned its freedom, I took part in a number of daring and arduous campaigns in the three Anglo-Mysore wars. In 1781, I was honored as I had the only unusual distinction of carrying an extra honorary colour to commemorate the capture of Hyder Ali's standard in the Battle of Sholingur. Over the next few decades, I was rechristened multiple times as 2nd Madras Native Infantry in 1796, 20th Madras Native Infantry in 1824, 20th Madras Infantry in 1885, 80th Carnatic Infantry in 1903, and a 6th Madras Regiment in 1943. As the world embroiled itself into the first global conflict in World War I was called upon for the Middle Eastern Mesopotamia campaign. Over here as well, my soldiers did me extremely proud with their gallant actions, and they were awarded with 1 Military Cross and 4 Indian Distinguished Service Medals for their sheer bravery in the face of the enemy. Me and my shining armor, exemplified by the grit and sublime accomplishments of my Thambis, were put out of action in 1947 as the Indian Army was reorganized under the general demobilization. But how could such an illustrious battalion stay out of action for so long? Hence, on 1st October 1963, a new chapter commenced in my legacy as I was re-raised at Wellington by Major Mohinder Singh. Within just 2 years of my re-raising, I was called upon once again for the 1965 Indo-Pak War this time. Here again, my soldiers were baptized by fire as they showcased their prowess and valor when they were tasked to clear the area in Rajouri sector of infiltrators from Pakistan. On 23rd May 1970, the Supreme Commander of Armed Forces recognized the meritorious service of my brave and competent soldiers, and as an endorsement of their dedication and valor, I was given my Nishan by the then President of India, Shri V.V. Giri himself. 2nd Lieutenant I.P. Singh collected it on my behalf. Troubled with the constant influx of refugees from East Pakistan, bitter hostilities continued with our western adversary as another bloody war broke out between the two countries in 1971. This time, I was moved to the Western Theatre and saw action in the Battle of Basantar. Here, under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Ratan Singh, my Thambis were tasked to capture the Supwal ditch. On the night of 16th and 17th December 1971, the brave Thambis fed back 3 counterattacks of the charging enemy and inflicted 120 casualties on them. Here again, the high standards, morale and training of my troops saw them keep my colors flying high across the Basanta River. On 17th December 1971, Nayak Jajula Sannyasi was tasked to clear two interfering enemy MMG positions. And with great courage, determination, and utter disregard to his personal safety, he charged forward and moved his RCL gun to a flank and destroyed these two MMG positions. For this gallant action, he was awarded the Veer Chakra, the third highest military award in the face of enemy, while other valorous soldiers were awarded 4 Sena medals and 4 mentioned in dispatches for this very battle. For the sheer courage and commitment shown by the Thambis in the face of the enemy, I was awarded with the Battle Honour Basanta River and Theatre Honour Punjab. It is for this legacy that we call ourselves as the Basantar Saviors. After the 71 war, I spent some time in Sikandrabad before moving east to Nagaland, where again the grit and determination of my Thambis earned the admiration of all in the counter-insurgency operations in Nagaland. I was honored once again when my Thambis were awarded and recognized for their bravery, as CHM Michael was awarded the Kirti Chakra, the second highest military award for his gallant actions, and my Thambis were also decorated with 2 Vishisht Seva medals. In 1984, when Mother India was being intimidated by a faction of the population, I was called upon again, this time in Punjab as part of Operation Blue Star. There in Gurdaspur, Dhariwal and Batala, Thambis proved their mettle again, as without harming anyone, they brought a number of misguided youth to surrender at Gurdwara Mehta Chowk. I also participated in the widely covered nationwide exercise Brass Tacks in the difficult terrain and harsh climatic conditions of Rajasthan during this tenure. In September 1987, I moved to the ice-cold and rugged mountains in Tangsei, Ladakh. The extreme cold, along with crushing high-speed winds, did not deter the Thambis from making battalion defenses at heights ranging from 17,000 feet to 18,000 feet. A special mention in this challenging tenure also goes out to my pipe band team, who gave me a unique honor by participating in the Republic Day Parade at New Delhi in 1988. I now moved to Alwar in the year 1989, where despite coming after a physically draining high altitude tenure, the Thambis were unstoppable, as they not only stood first in the Dev Motor Championship but also secured the runners-up trophy in both MMG and mine-laying championships. The tenacious Thambis also joyously undertook an exhausting 400-kilometer Aravali expedition without an error in this tenure. As years passed, I moved into the highly active counter-insurgency terrain in Manipur in 1992, My brave Thambis, once again with their nerves of steel, were deployed in Ukhrul, where they dominated the Ennesian stronghold. And Colonel A.K. Arora, commanding officer, hosted the national flag for the first time in Nagaland in a big function at the Toloi ground, which was the hometown of the then self-styled Ennesian chief. My brave soldiers gave the insurgents a run for their life as they apprehended the entire top brass of both National Socialist Council of Nagaland and the United National Liberation Front by killing a number of their cadres. The Basanta saviors were also instrumental in the surrender of Lal Denga, the president of the Mizo National Army. The commendable performance in CI Ops by Thambis added many feathers to my hat as I was honored with the General Officer Commanding in Chief Eastern Command Unit Citation. Nayak Varsi Vasudev Rao, for his sheer courage and determination in this hostile environment, was awarded the Shaurya Chakra, the third highest military award in peacetime. The gallant Thambis also won 1 Sena Medal, 8 Chief of Army Staff Commendation Cards, and 4 General Officer Commanding in Chief Eastern Command Commendation Cards. After the grueling tenure at Manipur, my Thambis and I moved down south, closer to our homeland, to Trivandrum in August 1995, wherein we rejoiced as we celebrated the silver jubilee of our glory in the 1971 war with great pomp and show. We also took part in a number of amphibious exercises with the Indian Navy in this tenure. I also participated with my full might in 2 corps level operational exercises in Rajasthan, which was widely appreciated by the chain of command. All hell broke loose once again when our western adversary surreptitiously infiltrated the line of control in the Kargil region, and the Third Indo-Pak War broke out in 1999. During this time, I was moved to the Suratgarh area in Rajasthan, and the Thambis carried forward my rich heritage by performing exceptionally well in all operational tasks as they were deployed over there. From there, I then moved to the island in the sun, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Here, I participated in the widely covered AMFEX 2001 exercise before moving into the arid terrain of Rajasthan once again, this time during Op Parakram in December 2001. More laurels and recognition came my way as I was crowned the Andaman and Nicobar Tri-Services Command Champion thrice, and my unassailable Thambis won 19 Commander-in-Chief Andaman and Nicobar Commendation Cards. My story continued as I moved to Bhimber Gali in Jammu and Kashmir, where the battalion held the terrorists on a tight leash as we recovered huge caches of ammunitions and explosives of the anti-national elements in Operation Galati and Operation Theri Raliot. In 2006, I relocated to Sanjuvan in Jammu, wherein the Thambis marched ahead, carrying forward their illustrious legacy and performed exceedingly well in professional as well as sports competition. They won the championship in sniper, football, and boxing div level competitions, stood runners up in the 26th Division Cambrian Patrol, and secured a pole position in the 9 Corps Cambrian Patrol. After almost 17 years now, it was time for me to move back to the Eastern Theatre, and we now moved to Sunnyvale, Sikkim in 2009. Here, I was holding the historic Saragadi post in front of the Jalep Pass on the ancient Silk Route connecting Lhasa to India. And my brave Tambis that they are, enduring the harsh climatic conditions, revived the historic 2.3-kilometer tunnel connecting various posts. We also established the high altitude core training node at an altitude of 12,000 feet in Ganathang. This is still date used by all the battalions in the core zone during op alerts. My undeterred Tambis also performed exceptionally well in sports, lifting the 17 Mountain Div sports banner in Sikkim. They won the Div championship in handball, football, cross country, boxing, and athletics. 2011 saw me moving to Jaipur as the Kishangarh. The Tambis not only excelled professionally but also had outshone the rest of the battalions by being crowned as the 12 rapid professional and sports champions consecutively for 3 years. Battalion won the motor and mine laying championship and secured pole positions in hockey, football, boxing, cross country, and the pipe band championship. Time flew by, and I never realized when I turned 50 amidst these energetic and pumped up Tambis as they made merry and celebrated my golden jubilee. To top it all, I was again decorated with another General Officer Commanding-in-Chief, Southern Command Unit Appreciation for this tenure. After an exhilarating peace tenure, it was now time to go into a challenging terrain as I and my Tambis moved north into Nathwa Tibba, Sundarbani, Jammu and Kashmir. Here, faced with the arduous task of combating ceasefire violations and preventing infiltration at the same time, the bravery and commitment displayed by my Tambis makes my chest swell with pride. For 3 consecutive years, the Tambis not only dominated the enemy and the treacherous terrain, but also failed numerous infiltration bids. In line with the Madras regiment's credo, Swadharme Nidhanam Shreya, or it is glory to die doing one's duty, my brave son Lance Naik Sam Abraham made the supreme sacrifice in the line of duty. His name will remain enshrined in the annals of Saviour's history. It was 2018 now, and it was time for me to move to Jamnagar in Gujarat. We announced our arrival to the entire Div by standing first in Sniper Championship, second in volleyball, and third in 81mm Motor Championship. The Pulwama attack of 2019 happened, and the fatal casualty of 40 CRPF bravehearts saw us mobilized once again, this time as part of Operation Zafran to Bijdia in Rajasthan. As the nation gave the enemy a decisive blow by launching the Balakot airstrikes across the line of control, the professionalism displayed by Tambis in form of quick mobilization and prompt deployment stood testimony to their commitment to duty. The dreaded COVID-19 pandemic struck around this time, and the world came to a standstill. Here, I was now required to provide a safe quarantine shelter for the troops of Northern Command. With a streamlined and dedicated COVID management team, the battalion successfully accomplished this task with zero positive cases in the battalion. Owing to the finest performance of my Thambis, more laurels came my way as I was bestowed upon by another General Officer Commanding in Chief, Southern Command Unit Appreciation for this tenure. In August 2020, I moved from Jamnagar to the high altitude areas and rugged terrain of Kargil, where Thambis, unshaken by the sheer cold and harsh climatic conditions, stood tall and dominated the enemy. They made tunnel defenses as close as 17 meters to the enemy posts and opened a new route interconnecting our posts right in the face of the enemy. The tertib and professional competence of me and my Thambis echoed far and wide across the terrain as we also erected a monumental flag 35 feet tall at point 13620, the core vital ground in the face of the enemy, overlooking the entire Kargil town. For the unmatched dedication and unshakable resolve in the extremest of conditions, I and my Thambis were bestowed upon with the General Officer Commanding in Chief, Northern Command Unit Appreciation for this Kargil tenure. It was September 2022 as I now reached Sikandrabad, another homecoming after long. Again, the tireless Thambis that they are, my name has been spread far and wide like wildfire in just a year, as they have swept the professional and sports competitions by being champions in the 54 Infantry Dev RL competition twice, as also winning the 81mm motor competition and the sniper competition. In the year gone by, they brought home 3 champions trophies as also pole positions in hockey and boxing. Here, I also took part in the Core EWT, where my valiant Thambis performed exceedingly well in the operational tasks assigned to them with the armored formations. They also participated in a command level CBRN exercise to the admiration of all senior ranking officers, proving yet again their grit, resolve, and professional competence. During the EWT, one of my bravest sons showed commitment beyond the call of duty as he gave it all that he had. When even in adverse heat conditions he carried on with the operational tasks assigned to him, paying little heed to the toll it was taking on his body. This day I wept as Sipai Gopuraju laid down his life while performing his duty in the operational area in Rajasthan, in line with the finest traditions of our regiment. My Thambis have always kept my head held high amidst varied circumstances, and throughout the years they have etched my name in golden letters wherever we went. Needless to say, I am sanguine even in the future Thambis will add many more feathers to my festooned crown. As you all are gathered here to celebrate my turning 60, I feel great pride and privileged, for you, my Thambis, have not only kept my colors flying high, but with each location, generation after generation, my sons, you have raised the benchmarks of excellence, regimental ethos, and professionalism. This is my story. 6 Madras, the Basantar Savior.